We are the true sovereign nations of Canada.
Alberta Independence Update First Nations Edition. We're going to take a look at some clips. Most of them will be recent clips, a few maybe from a little bit older, but they're all going to be around the topic of Alberta independence. Let's go.
We're here to oppose separation. We're here to give the support to the nations that have put litigation forward here towards Alberta and their separation. Our treaties are with the Imperial Crown, not with the province of Alberta. Alberta was never a party to the treaty and had no jurisdiction over our lands. We're here to fight and stand strong against this discussion around separation and how it's impacting our people.
Isn't it crazy how many Liberals and apparently many Indigenous leaders all of a sudden became such Canadian patriots very recently? Remember, like 3 or 4 years ago, wasn't Canada Day something to be ashamed of? And then a lot of First Nations people will also go on about colonialism. Now all of a sudden, a lot of these leaders, and I'm not saying they speak for every Indigenous person, but there's a lot of Indigenous leaders I've seen lately, suddenly massive Canada patriots.
In our communities.
So we call out to all of Albertans who are opposed to this crazy idea, this political fantasy of separation. And we welcome you to support us as we move forward, as we will support you.
So Premier Smith and the UCP cabinet, I hope you have your bags packed, because when this referendum is defeated, I will gladly walk you to the border.
Okay, tough guy. Oh my gosh. So if you're voting in the referendum, I don't even know why he's talking about Danielle Smith. Danielle Smith's position is a sovereign Alberta in a unified Canada or something like that. Walk you to the border. Like, this doesn't sound very democratic. So people, you're going to walk to the U.S. border after this is over in your mind? What the heck was that? Most irrational thing I've heard. We will move now to this video. This is not a recent video, but still it's on the topic of Alberta independence.
We're not going anywhere. And if you feel that you have problems with First Nations, you could leave. The alarming statement.
Look, no offense, I guess, but the main driver of Alberta independence is not problems with First Nations. I would definitely say the number one driver is federal overreach from Ottawa. Maybe, obviously, First Nations and Indigenous people are a part of it on some level, but I don't know where that would be on the list, if it even is on the list.
And actions the province has been taken is being met head to head by the chiefs of Alberta. This is treaty country, and any talk of separation is really insanity, because there is no pathway to separation. You can have all the referendums you want, but there is no way. And for the province to not engage with First Nations, if they're going to make statements like that, really shows the respect that they have for the original inhabitants of this land. The rhetoric.
Dude, the original inhabitants of this land are all gone, okay? We're all the same. This attitude is crippling Canada.
Of this land. The rhetoric and insanity of separation here in Alberta has united First Nations on this land, but all across Canada from coast to coast to coast.
Look, this point has been made before, but really Canada is not working on so many different levels. We are so divided. I think Trudeau is a major part of that. Everywhere you look across Canada, groups are separated and divided. It's incredible in a bad way. Another short video I will react to here. I've actually reacted to a part of this statement in a prior video, but I think it's worth it to play it again.
We're here to be clear with the province of Alberta. We strongly oppose any petition calling for a separation referendum. Letting this move risks opening the door to Alberta becoming the 51st state, something that we will not allow.
Again, is it not incredible how so many Liberals and apparently a few, at least, First Nations leaders are all of a sudden are such ardent Canada patriots? I find that a little sad, but it's also a little funny.
We've seen what's happening south of the border. when the U.S. Treasury Secretary said Alberta should come on down to the U.S. That wasn't a joke. It was a serious signal of how others see this province's political direction.
Okay, I did this last time because this keeps coming up in Canadian media. I'll play the clip. He's talking about the pipeline. Watch the clip.
Look, Alberta is a wealth of natural resources, but they won't let him build a pipeline to the Pacific.
So he just talks about a pipeline to the Pacific.
I think we should let him come down into the U.S., and Alberta is a natural partner for the U.S. They have great resources. The Albertans are very independent people.
I think everyone's just taking that out of context. He mentions pipeline to the Pacific. We should let them come down to the U.S. Like, does no one care that he just said pipeline?
Every Albertan should take that seriously. Our nations have launched legal actions against the province. We expect the courts to uphold the Canadian Constitution and the treaties that protect our rights. Agreements made long before Alberta became a province. We're asking Albertans to stand with us.
Okay, final clip for this video. It's again not a recent clip, but it's Chiefs reacting to Bill 54. It's pretty interesting.
Bill 54, this is what we think of you. You're garbage like that. This is treaty land, and we stand on it today. Thank you.
Okay, so I think the part they don't like, I mean, maybe there's other parts of the bill they're not a fan of, at least this guy here, but this is from ChatGPT. I asked Bill 54, reduced the signature requirement for triggering petition-led processes, including referendums on matters like constitutional questions. So again, I think that would be their main objection, is that it's easier now to have a petition to hold a potential referendum. Back to this clip.
Sovereignty does not belong with the province of Alberta or Canada. We are the true sovereign nations of Canada. We will be the only sovereign nations of Canada.
Look, fuck that. Give me a break, man. This is so stupid. What, First Nations are better? What do you, like, listen to what he said there.
Sovereignty does not belong with the province of Alberta or Canada. We are the true sovereign nations of Canada.
So not only it's Alberta, it's Canada. We are the true sovereign nations of Canada. Dude, how is this not Indigenous better? First Nations better?
We will be the only sovereign nations of Canada. That is another item that they stole from our people, is that word sovereignty. Not only are they taking our land, our resources, and everything else that belongs to us, but they're also trying to take our words.
The rhetoric.
Like, dude, cry me a river. They're our words. They took everything else from us, even our words. Dude, Canadians need to start mocking this more often. Our words. Are you joking, bro? That's how dictionaries, even if that's true what he's saying, what, are you going to go through the dictionary and be like, well, that word's German, that word's French. What the frig are we doing?
Words.
The rhetoric and insanity of separation here in Alberta has united First Nations on this land, but all across Canada from coast to coast to coast.
So we listened to this one already, but whatever.
So I want to thank you, Danielle Smith, 454. Why? Because today we stand united. And if you feel that you have problems with First Nations, you could leave.
Our people will come to oppose Bill 54, and we want to remind you that there are many other nations and treaty areas across Canada that are also in opposition. So I stand together with my brothers and sisters across Turtle Island in opposition of Bill 54.
Our people are being overlooked. It's about time we have a seat at the table. No, we shouldn't be suffering in our own country.
Prime Minister Carney,
The guy's got the Macron look going.
Premier Smith, and all the premiers across this country, what I advise you to do, and you take this very seriously, you work together to develop a national water energy plan. And in that water national energy plan, you add the First Nations people part of those talks. Because when that is developed, I assure you, the rhetoric of Premier Smith will go away.
Okay, if he's referring to the clean water on these reserves, I mean, I agree with that. A lot of these reserves still don't have clean water. I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, The Liberals have been in power for quite some time.
Today, every one of the First Nations you see here, we've got doctors, we've got lawyers, we've got judges, we've got crown prosecutors. We're ready. We're ready for a fight. We got resources that we can either share or utilize ourselves for any litigation moving forward and any challenges we're going to have. So we're ready.
Bill,
Incredible. I wonder what a world will look like if the referendum goes through, there is a referendum, and it wins in Alberta, and Alberta votes for independence. Obviously, there will be some tension there with at least those people on screen. But with that said, what do you think about this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.